Not gonna lie, when I said that I wanted to see Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer in the same superhero universe again, this wasn't what I was expecting. But it's nice. Today on Readus Reviews, I review Ant-Man and the Wasp. Wait a minute. Let's see, there's Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, Spider-Man, Thor, Black Panther, Infinity War. The 8th installment in Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And the 20th? The 20th movie from Marvel Studios. Jesus Christ. So the movie takes place during the events of Infinity War, which means that Scott Lang is under house arrest for his actions during Civil War. And because he participated on Cap's side of Civil War, Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne are guilty by association. So with 3 days left in his house arrest, Scott gets a vision from Janet Van Dyne, the one who was trapped in the quantum realm. And so the three of them get the gang back together in order to find a way to extract her from it. And that's where the villain Ghost comes in, because she wants something that the Pym family has that they need in order to extract Janet. And it just so happens that some other normal-ass bad guys want the exact same tech. So now they're all in a rat race to not only extract Janet in time, but so that Scott Lang doesn't, like, violate his parole so he can get released off of house arrest. It was interesting. It was very interesting, but a good interesting. I say that because while I'm not necessarily a fan of the whole everybody wants main MacGuffin for different reasons thing, but you're rooting for the heroes because they're the ones that are gonna make the most practical use out of it, it was definitely enjoyable, and it definitely helped because of the tone of Ant-Man and the Wasp. And the tone of Ant-Man and the Wasp is pretty much the same as Ant-Man. It was fun and funny. The pacing felt fine. Nothing felt that it was too rushed or cut too early. The use, handling, and distribution of the Pym particles were creative and hilarious. And surprisingly enough, even though it didn't necessarily have heist movie written all over the movie like the first Ant-Man movie, it still felt like a heist movie, like a superhero heist movie. More on the superhero aspect, but still had that aspect of the heist movie. So with that being said, let's talk about the characters that stood out to me the most, starting with Scott Lang. You know, for somebody like me who really wanted a modern day Hank Pym Ant-Man for the MCU, I'm honestly really warming up to the fact that Scott Lang is the main Ant-Man and that he's played by Paul Rudd, because Paul Rudd just makes this role for me now. Like in the first one, I really do admire the whole Anthony Hopkins-Antonio Banderas relationship that they have, like in the first one. But the thing I really like about this one is that he legit really has to choose whether or not he wants to help Hank and Hope, or just like not get caught by the police and try and live a normal life. It's like, you can see that conflict, and because he really wants to be there for his daughter, but at the same time, he really wants to help them out. Like, despite this being mostly an action comedy, you can definitely see some growth from Scott in this movie. And Hope was just great, and I'm so glad that they made her the Wasp in this. Like, I've been looking forward to this ever since they first teased it in the first end credits of the first Ant-Man movie, and it honestly didn't disappoint. And then there's Michael Pena, and it's just, god damn it, Michael Pena, I love that he's literally the same character. And out of the two villains that were in this movie, my favorite would have to be Ghost, mostly because of, like, her motive and how she developed overall over the course of the movie. Her development wasn't Killmonger strong, but it's up there with Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming, which I thought was still pretty nice. She had a backstory, she had a reason for doing the things that she did, and you can tell over the course of this movie that she had a stake in this fight, unlike old dude from Prison Break and the Tomb Raider reboot. That's the human villain in this. Which, now that I think about it, I really shouldn't be that surprised that he was so underwhelming. Other things I like about this movie was Paul Rudd and Randall Park's overall chemistry and improv. It was really well done. And I swear, the de-aging technology that Marvel uses in these movies it just gets better every time. It's just like, holy shit. Like, I was literally looking at Romancing the Stone-ass Michael Douglas in the flashback scenes. I was literally looking at Michelle Pfeiffer's role in Scarface whenever I saw Janet Van Dyne on screen. Like, 70s or 80s Janet Van Dyne. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really find that many nitpicks in this movie, mostly because I kind of went into this with low expectations, because how else are you gonna follow up Infinity War after this unless you do something that just completely cleanses your palate. And I feel that's what Ant-Man and the Wasp did. That is, until you watch the end credit scenes and then you're like, right, there's a reason why this movie's released after Infinity War. Right, alright, that makes sense. I have to remember that there's still 2 more movies in this narrative before it's done. Can it be done now, though? I want it to be done now, though. This was a good movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp was a good movie. It was a much-needed palate cleanser after watching the last Marvel Studios movie. And like Ant-Man before it, it has succeeded in making me care about characters that, unless they were put or introduced through the Avengers, like, I don't know, Vision, I never would have really cared about. So kudos to you, Marvel Studios. It's definitely worth checking out in theaters, and I wouldn't be mad at you for deciding to wait for a matinee price. As far as home video is concerned, I would say either a rental or a DVD purchase. But because of my OCD, and because I have to own every Marvel Studios movie on Blu-ray, it's probably going to be a Blu-ray purchase for me. Don't you just hate having compulsions that just force you to spend money? Anyway, readers, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comment section below what you thought of Ant-Man and the Wasp if you've seen it. If you want to help support the channel, you can purchase official merchandise by clicking the card at the end of the video or in the link in the description down below. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.